Hey Cardo, pause music. Hey Cardo, pause. Do you not know pause? There we go. Well, you joined me on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. It's cool, it's crisp. We're cruising at a nice 50 miles an hour, or 511, depending on what you believe. Ultimately to find out, among other things, how my butt feels. We're actually pulling double duty. We're still out figuring out how to calibrate the speedo on the mini gauge here. Hopefully it works, but you know, you probably know that already. And I figured why not at the same time test out a brand new seat from Acerbis. Look how efficient I am. 2 birds with 1 stone. 2 videos with 1 ride. So no bother in showing you how to install this because I think it's pretty straightforward, and that would make for a very, very short video. But while I put some miles on this and get my general impressions, I think it might be a good idea to step back and let past me explain just a little bit more about this seat and kind of get a better look at it because it is quite odd.
Thanks, future me, and here it is. And it is something to look at, that's for sure. Let's get in here for some details. There's a lot going on with this. So in the front here, it's very pimply, it's got these weird swoops, and in the back it's ribbed for your pleasure, or for whatever else you want it to be ribbed for. This is very off-road focused, so the front here is super grippy, so you can get up on the seat, up on the tank for hard braking and for cornering. And then in the middle here, it's kind of, you know, more or less flat. This is where you're normally gonna be sitting, just for regular comfort, I suppose. And then the back is even more ribbed here to kind of hold you in place for hard acceleration. This whole thing, like, they call it a 1-piece, but it's got a base pan, so it's 2 pieces for real. But it's all this kind of like rubber feel. It's not, you know, like regular foam that you would expect to see on any other seat. It's not foam inside of a cover. It's just on there, and it's very, I don't know, it feels like an eraser almost. There's 2 versions. There's the normal, or they call it the race one, which is, I guess, their normal. And then this is the soft for extra comfort. So I guess the only real difference in that is that this one just has more material on top to allow for some more comfort. And supposedly it's soft, but I really don't get that impression. Well, I think if I had to sum it up, it would be I'm skeptical. I hope it works, I really do, because that stock seat is god-awful, and anything would be an improvement, but just looking at it and just sitting on it just for a few minutes, I'm skeptical is the word, skepticism. But let's throw back to future me, and after I put some time and some miles on this to get his impressions.
Well, this is not a bad place to stop now, is it? I put like a half an hour's worth of sitting on it, so my opinion's only going to be based on that, basically a half an hour, but still, I'm actually pleasantly surprised by this. I did not think that I would enjoy the way it looks. I didn't think I would enjoy the way it feels. I think the most important piece of this, the little divot here for your tailbone, actually does something. Like, I don't have any pressure on my tailbone like I normally would with the stock seat or any other flat seat for that matter. As far as softness and comfort, I don't know. I like to think that it's better than the stock seat, which doesn't really say much if I'm honest, but it's something. And I guess we'll just have to go a little bit further to figure out for sure how this feels. But I think ultimately the headline here is I'm actually surprised, in a good way.
Later.
Well, we're back to the beach, and why wouldn't we? It's gorgeous today. But we've been putting quite a few miles on this over quite a few days, and color me impressed, because I thought I would not enjoy this, but I'm pleasantly surprised in that it's actually pretty comfortable. It's a little deceiving because they call it soft, but the material does not imply softness or even comfort, really. I think it's more to do with the shape of the seat. After about an hour or so, I really feel it on my tailbone. Not only my tailbone, but actually on my hips too. I get hip pain after extended periods of time sitting on these kind of seats, but this one actually doesn't do that for me. I'm really, really happy about that. I wouldn't call it comfortable, I'd just call it accommodating I mean, this might be softer in the sense that there's more material on top where those ridges are, so that my hips are kind of sinking into that rather than the whole seat as, you know, as kind of one big piece. Because, you know, leaning from side to side, like, I do feel it squish under me. Not a whole lot, but there is a little bit there. I haven't sat on the regular or race version, but I would imagine that it's a little stiffer right there. I'd be curious to see how the grip on the front and the kind of ribs in the back help with like the off-road riding side of things. I don't think it would ultimately do that much, at least not enough for me to notice between this and the stock seat. But I guess it's kind of nice that it's there. Also, I don't know if this is just me getting used to the seat or the material, but I feel like after a while when I sit on it, it does kind of form fit to me. Not exactly like memory foam, but I guess kind of like that. Maybe it does kind of mold to your hips and to your butt a little bit. So I think overall this is actually really good. I think they kind of missed the mark marketing wise when they called it a soft seat, because it's not a soft seat. Rather, it should have been called comfortable or form fit, something like that. Soft kind of indicates plushy or, you know, thick and foamy and things like that. It's not that, that's for sure, but it is comfortable. Now, while I say it's comfortable for me. Might not be comfortable for you. It might be a completely different story. It might be unrideable if you have a little more junk in your trunk. I think it's safe to say for me specifically, but you know, for other guys and gals who might not be packing as much in the rear, this is a very good, comfortable option that would alleviate that 2x4 feeling you get with the original. So with that, I'm gonna go enjoy this a little bit more. And when I get home, my hips won't be sore. Thanks for watching.